Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is an amazing place to live, but we've compiled a list of 5 things that people don't like about living here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
I'm so interested. I can't wait. Stick around and wait to hear what we came up with. Hi, I'm Kristen Horst.
And I'm Seth Horst, and together we are 10-8 Real Estate Team, and we live and work here in downtown Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, so you could say we are your neighborhood experts.
Now, let's get into our top 5 things that people hate about Coeur d'Alene.
So, number 1 complaint about living in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, that doesn't mean it's the most popular complaint, it's just the number 1 we're choosing today, is traffic. Yeah, it's a big deal, especially for those that have lived here a long time. As a former highway patrolman, you can see my hat right up there on the wall. I notice main roadways and traffic flow on them because that's a big deal to me. So I can see a lot of work getting done on the infrastructure on some of the main roadways as far as expanding Interstate 90 to 3 lanes from here to the Washington state line. And northbound, they're starting to expand some of the roadways, but all that's going to take some time. So, and you know, as we have construction zones, people get annoyed because it slows things down. So they're working to fix it. It's going to take some time. Be mindful of that. It can take a long time to get through certain parts of town. However, you know, if you live close to downtown's really walkable. We live in downtown Coeur d'Alene. We walk everywhere, so we don't really experience that unless we're going, you know, somewhere we have to drive out and about, maybe to Target or whatever, somewhere else. But it's not even though it's the biggest complaint, it's still not really that big of a deal. I mean, compared to like a bigger city or coming from a lot of places in California, which a lot of people are coming from. Are you allowed to say that word here?
So it's still not that bad. It's not like you're ever in bumper to bumper traffic, stopped, or anything like that. It's just a little more crowded, and once in a while you might not get through a light. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
But it's very rare.
I would argue that the yellow lights here are shorter than other places that I have lived.
Sure.
So be mindful of that.
It took me a good year to get used to that one. Running red lights constantly.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, it's not that bad. It's going to get better as the population increases. Of course, you're going to deal with more traffic. That's just part of life. Those that have lived here a long time, they absolutely hate it. You know, and I can understand that if you grew up here and it was a sleepy little town, you know, 30 years ago, I bet it was amazing. But this is what's happening everywhere in the country. These small towns are getting more populated, so people just have to get used to it and start rolling with it.
All right, number 2, tourism. Coeur d'Alene is known for its tourism. We have multiple beautiful lakes. People love to come here and vacation. So a lot of complaints about that because...
So if you live here and there are out-of-towners coming from certain areas, they might bring their big city lifestyle here, and that can cause a few problems, particularly downtown, with trash and large crowds of people. You know, we love it here in the wintertime because it's really quiet. Like, you can actually walk into a restaurant and get a table without a reservation in any day of the week, which is pretty cool. If you try that in the summertime, I guarantee you're gonna get shut down. We've done it many times by mistake, and we learned that lesson pretty quick. So yeah, with the increased amount of people in the summertime, and we get it, it's absolutely gorgeous here in the summer. Yeah. Like, that's the time to be
I don't
here.
Leave in the summer.
No, we don't.
I don't vacation in the summer.
We don't go anywhere else on vacation.
Because I'm where people vacation.
Yes. So we get why those people are coming here. It increases traffic again. So you have more traffic during the summertime for sure.
Yep.
And you know, you'll notice it gets to be a little dirtier downtown because people are filthy coming here and throwing their trash.
Because they don't care. It's not their city. However, the tourism, what it does do is, in a good way, is obviously we wouldn't have all the businesses we have. We have a really cool shopping, a lot of great restaurants, and those flourish because of tourism, and they are here because of that, and we may not be able to provide them enough business if we didn't have the tourism.
Yeah, so a bit of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Keep them coming because it keeps the city alive, so we appreciate that. I think locals just kind of endure the major tourist season here and get through it, knowing that a lot of them own businesses and it's going to help them in the long run too. All right, number 3 reason to dislike Coeur d'Alene is the home prices and how much they have been jacked up because of out-of-town people moving here a lot of times with big money from other states such as California, Washington, Oregon. That is a big deal. And if you grew up here and can no longer live here because of that, that's really important to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you live here and your kids can't afford to buy a house here, so they move somewhere else. So we get it. That's a huge bummer. And yeah, but
there's no way to sugarcoat that. That's a sucky deal. Prices are coming down as we're heading into 2023, as it is nationwide, but it's still expensive. But the plus side is cost of living in Idaho is still so much cheaper than most states.
Yeah.
So you are paying a little more for your home, but your gas and electric and your registration of vehicles and all of those things are incredibly cheap.
Homeowners insurance.
Oh, yes.
So if you come from a wildfire prone area such as California, all of California now.
Yeah.
The homeowners insurance in those areas is absolutely insane. So moving here, I don't know that there are any areas that are affected like that. So you'll notice a huge decrease in homeowners insurance as well.
All right, we're on to number 4. Cold winters.
Your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. I have adapted, I have to say, but I was really scared of that when we first moved here, the cold winters. And honestly, for me, it's not necessarily the cold, because it doesn't honestly get that cold here, I would say.
You don't even wear your electric boots and electric gloves anymore.
Nope.
So.
Or long johns under my pants anymore. I used to do that, yeah. But what gets me, and what I hear from a lot of people, is the how long winter is.
Yeah,
it goes on a while.
It's gray. That's probably the biggest challenge. We don't seem to get a huge amount of snow. I'm sure it will occasionally still happen. I grew up on the East Coast, upstate New York, and we got way more snow there than we do here in Coeur d'Alene.
And way colder.
And it was way colder. So I would say average winter temperatures are in the 30s. You will get colder days, of course, and you'll get some warmer days. Snowfall has not been that huge. I don't get to use my snowblower as often as I'd like. And really the big challenge is those months from like January to May. Yeah. It's just gray for the most part. The occasional sunny day happens.
Maybe not.
True.
It depends on the year, but yeah, it can. Last year, 2022, it was pretty much gray all the way into most of even June, which I've heard is kind of rare, but still, that was a hard one for me.
Yeah, that's really the time of year that most people try to take their vacations and go somewhere warm and sunny and kind of get a little recharge. Or, you bundle up and you watch a bunch of Netflix shows or whatever, because that's the time where it's like dark at 4 p.m. and it's...
Well, that's like...
Doesn't get light
December and January.
True. Not as much into May.
No, we're already starting to get... We're in... what are we in? March?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's already starting to get light longer, which is awesome.
True.
But the positive side to having...
There's a positive?
to having coldish winters is if you like to do outdoor things in the winter as snow mobiling, skiing, snowboarding. We have snowshoes? 4 or 5 ski resorts within an hour and a half of Coeur d'Alene, which is pretty awesome. So there's plenty to do if you like that sort of thing. So you can keep yourself busy.
Yep, absolutely. So we racked our brains a little bit to get number 5, to be honest with you.
Because there's not a whole lot people hate about Coeur d'Alene.
No, it's pretty good living. One complaint I do hear quite a bit, though, is a lack of diversity of food choices. We don't experience it as much because we're pretty plain people, I guess, and we tend to have it the same locations over and over again, and that's cool with us. But we do hear that sometimes. If you're coming from an area that has like really good Mexican food, it's a little bit hard to find up here.
A little hard to find.
So probably some of those ethnic foods that you might be used to finding where you're coming from, you'll be a little bit challenged on that. Now, you can go, if you're so inclined, over the border into Washington, and Spokane, which is a big city, is 40 minutes away, and you will find a pretty diverse food whatever there. So that's a good option if you're hitting like a point here where you're like, I really need
to get this or that. Yeah, you can go over to Spokane and do anything your heart desires over there.
Yeah, but overall, we haven't personally found that to be a challenge. It is just something we do hear from people occasionally.
So those are our top 5 things that people hate about Coeur d'Alene.
And like we said earlier, it's really hard to even come up with 5. Coeur d'Alene overall is just an amazing place to live. The culture, the people. We meet people all the time that are just the coolest people, and we're so thankful to be here. It's a clean, safe city. You don't have gang problems. You don't have graffiti everywhere. You don't have homeless people everywhere. That was a big thing that we noticed, and that's a big draw to us. So I would say overall, despite those negatives, it's still an absolutely amazing place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we are committed to bringing videos and sharing our knowledge of Coeur d'Alene. Like we said, we live downtown, so we're very familiar with it, to you guys. So if you have questions, drop a comment down below, or if you have areas you'd like us to visit or things you want to know about Coeur d'Alene, shoot us a message or drop a comment, and we will explore that for you.
And let us know in the comments below also if we missed something that you hate about Coeur d'Alene or something that you love about Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, good call. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It only takes a click of the button. It's not really a big deal. That way you'll get our latest videos as they come out. And of course, you'll help us with the YouTube algorithm as far as that goes. So always a good thing. And we will catch you on the next video.